Hi, my name is Samantha Barron, and I am doing a presentation on why I believe that the death penalty in America should be abolished. At its core, the death penalty in America is immoral, inhumane, and ineffective. The implicit and complicit costs to our society have not proven to be beneficial to the taxpayer or those on death row. Also, it has not been proven that the death penalty has reduced crime, specifically criminal acts of murder. And lastly, there have been many cases, roughly 150 people, within the last few decades that have been exonerated from death row. These facts that I have presented are unacceptable to the American justice system. I believe that because of these reasons, and many more that will be outlined in this presentation, are why the death penalty should be abolished in the United States. Compared to other forms of incarceration, death row has proven to be one of the costliest methods. In the study done by Torrin McFarland, the death penalty costs far exceed any other form of capital punishment. Statistics drawn up by McFarland show that on average, death row inmates cost $10,000 more than an average inmate to incarcerate. Moreover, an individual case that includes death row can cost taxpayers up to $1 million more than a case that does not seek the death penalty. In this study, McFarland proves, however, that although taxpayers would have to pay more in health fees for inmates as they get older, the cost for life without parole is still insignificant compared to the cost of the death penalty. An argument that policymakers like to include is that the death penalty is meant to deter criminals from committing heinous crimes. However, according to 88% of America's presidents of the top criminological societies disagree that the death penalty has any bearing on reducing criminal acts. There is a hypothesis coined the brutalization hypothesis that states that criminals that commit crimes because they feel encouraged to knowing that the death penalty will grant them public attention. New York reportedly found that their highest rates of homicide increased after a highly publicized execution. Also, the South has the highest rate of incarcerated criminals on death row, and their murder rate is the highest compared to the northern part of the country. Personally, I believe that it is possible for all innocent men and women to be on death row. Then the entire system should be done away with. Our country prides itself on the justice system and how citizens are innocent until proven guilty. However, there is no justice in placing innocent men and women in jeopardy of losing their lives for crimes that they did not commit. In the presentation, there are statistics cited about how more than 150 people since 1973 have been exonerated from death row. And currently, there is a rate of 5 people per year being exonerated as well. Also, I would like to mention that the true story that is outlined in the new movie and book titled Just Mercy. In this story, Walter McMillan, a hardworking black male, was placed on death row for a murder of a woman that he did not kill. McMillan had many alibis, stating that he was not even in the same town at the time of the murder. The story highlights how the state came up with their own narrative and essentially forced another criminal to lie in order to imprison McMillan. Thankfully, McMillan was exonerated from death row and the charges against him due to outstanding evidence of his innocence. Stories like his should not exist. Innocent people, as well as guilty people, should not die at the hand of the state. The solution to this issue is to implement life without parole. This choice allows for rehabilitation to be offered to criminals who have committed heinous acts at a lower cost than the death penalty. Also, if an innocent man or woman received life without parole, there would be a chance to free them without the chance of their death on death row. This is a more ethical choice than the eye for an eye approach that the state has taken. In conclusion, the death penalty should be completely eliminated in the American justice system for reasons such as cost and effectiveness to reduce crime and saving those who find themselves on death row as innocent people. The death penalty is barbaric and too flawed of a system to be deemed beneficial. Please consider the facts presented before you and vote for policies that would abolish the death penalty in its entirety. Thank you so much for your time.